Hey, what's up, guys? Big heads up if you are in Texas. My friend Randy down in the Dallas Fort Worth area. My goodness, things are rocking and rolling right now, and they're just getting started. Let me turn this back on. Over here, looking at the live weather radar, we're going to zoom in and take a closer look at the watches and warnings that are just absolutely galore right now. You name it, it's happening somewhere between Texas and Canada. Yeah, over 2,000 miles worth of watches, warnings, flash flooding, tornadoes, high winds, hail. Like I said, you name it, it is happening, Scott. The eighth wonder. What's going on, 49ers? Crazy horse. Look at this crazy weather, crazy horse. Did you bring this weather? Nah, this is a side effect of the La Nina, El Nino transition. And we are in the middle of that, and we're transitioning from El Nino to La Nina. And whenever that happens, wild weather happens. You can see a large area of, this is tornado watch, including the Dallas area, as I mentioned earlier. Look at all the activity there. We're going to come back and take a close look at that activity here in a moment. When I said over 2,000 miles, I wasn't joking. Spans from south central Texas. I'm talking about different watches and warnings, and this is an evolving situation. So there's going to be more and more as this progresses. Look how far up they go. All the way up into Canada. Severe thunderstorm watch for the next 6 hours and 38 minutes. What's this one here? Severe thunderstorm warning expires in an hour and 54 minutes. That's up in Canada. Environment Canada meteorologists are tracking a severe thunderstorm capable of producing very strong wind gusts, up to nickel-size hail, very heavy rain. We're going to be following storms up in Canada here in just a moment. But first, I want to focus on the very severe weather situation that's going on right now down here in the Texas area. Oh my goodness, it is going on. We've got the blue loop. That means a mesocyclone. Actually, there's two. See them? Those are mesocyclone discussions. Yeah, mesocyclone discussions. The meteorologists get together and they talk about how the conditions look like they are favorable for tornadoes in this area here, and obviously down here in the Waco, Dallas area, they're under a severe, a tornado watch for the next hour and 32 minutes. Tornado warning underway right now, and that is one intense storm. In fact, it's one of these storms right here. See the charcoal cloud tops? We've talked about this before many times. Those of you that are new here, anytime I use this instrument, and I've used it for many, many years, whenever I see black and gray at the tops of these are storms. The darker colors represent height. The height represents strength. Saw this over in Iowa yesterday, unfortunately, and the storms produced major tornadoes that went through the Greenfield area. Same scenario here. In fact, we're going to dual screen it and look for rotation. We're looking for rotation in the Pendleton Temple area of Texas. We've seen some big tornadoes on here in the past. We're looking for more big tornadoes here today. Right now, to be totally honest with you, I don't see any. A little bit of rotation, but not anything off the charts. We've seen a lot worse. But I will say, this does look like an overachiever. That's what I call hurricanes sometimes, that get up into the Cat 4, Cat 5 range. Overachievers. We've seen them. And there'll be more this year, too. The purple, wow, doesn't go any higher than that, guys. The purple you see right there, that's as high as it'll go. So it doesn't get any higher than that. Morgan Point Resort. Moffett, man, it's like they're inside of a city-sized car wash, and it's just going sideways. There's probably, I wouldn't even begin to know. They just issued right there. This is from the National Weather Service, by the way, and they just issued another tornado warning for this area. That's a brand new one right there. So we're going to stay here for a minute because this is the most intense part of the map right now, but this again is an evolving situation, so this is going to continue for the next several hours. we've got a lot going on here. The green represents, just trying to give you guys a heads up of what's going on. Flash flood warnings in this area, severe thunderstorm warnings in this area. And these don't expire for at least another 30 minutes. They just added another tornado warning. Where we're at is in the Waco, Texas area, just south of Waco. There is a very, and I mean very strong thunderstorm producing possible tornadoes in this area. There's a tornado warning. We're going to read it right now. This is a brand new one issued by the National Weather Service out of probably Fort Worth. Here we go. Fort Worth has, the National Weather Service in Fort Worth has issued a tornado warning if you're in southeastern Bell County in central Texas. And guys, just know that all this information that I'm going to share with you guys, this comes directly from the National Weather Service. I'm just the messenger, okay? And I'm trying to maybe help at least one person. And if we can help many more, then that's even better. But I'm just trying to help. That's all. Okay, tornado warning. I'd like to read it, please. There we go. Okay. Real quick, here we go. EAS activation requested. National Weather Service, Fort Worth, 6:28 p.m. Tornado warning until 7 p.m. At 6:28 p.m., here we go. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Temple. We saw that on the map, moving southeast at 40 miles an hour. Hazard tornado, ping pong ball size hail, radar indicated rotation, flying debris, take shelter. This is a dangerous storm and will be near Temple around 6:35 p.m. So again, they mentioned Temple, Texas now 2 times. And this is the National Weather Service, not me. Again, I'm just the messenger here. And they're advising people in these areas to take cover now, okay? So here we are. Temple, Texas. If you're in that area, you know anybody in Temple, basement interior room with no glass. I have no joke. This is a serious storm right here. All of these colors and little pixels you see right here, they have a story to tell. Whenever the storybook goes to purple, you need to find a basement or an interior room with no glass. And that's what it's telling us right now. That's at Morgan Point Resort, just went through, and it is currently above, the storm is above Moffett, Pendleton, and headed directly towards Temple, Texas. So if you're in Temple, Texas, seek shelter immediately. There's going to be flying debris. Let's look for rotation. They said rotation was indicated on radar. This shows us rotation. Oh, yeah, there certainly is. Right. It's a little difficult to tell that big. What we're looking for is contrast. The red and the green going. The red represents wind going, let's say, south, and the green's north. So it's a sharp contrast in the direction of the wind, which represents rotation. They're definitely a possible rotation candidate right there. If it is, it's very big. I'll say that. Wow. Oh, my goodness. So seek shelter if you're in Temple, Texas. We're going back to the single screen. Thank you. We're going to stay right here. We are looking at 2 tornado warnings and lightning just literally off the charts here. Everybody's hair is probably standing on end down here in Crawford and in Waco and Lorena, Bruceville, Eddy, Moffett. Look at that lightning off the charts. Seriously, man, everybody's probably walking around with their hair standing on end. You talk about ions off the hook. Woo, man. Kylene, there's a wind report there out of Kylene. Let's see what it says. Wind gust at 411 of 76 miles per hour near Fort Hood, Texas. You know what? That's hurricane force. So this is a very powerful storm. Again, they're advising people in Temple, Texas to seek shelter immediately. Take cover now. National Weather Service out of Fort Worth. Interior room with no glass. If you have a basement, that's absolutely perfect. Take shelter. If you're in Temple, Morgan's Point, Moffett, Pendleton, Troy. Wow. That is a very, very powerful storm. This is going to be updating here soon. Anytime I see purple on here, anytime I've seen it in the past, let's put it that way, the situation on the ground has been about as intense as it can get. So they are definitely in the cross. That Temple, look at that. Temple's probably experiencing it. And sometimes, here's the thing, sometimes even as good as this particular map is, and it's the map. This is a very good source of information. Temple is feeling it right now. High winds, sideways rain, probably very large hail, I would say, because that represents altitude. That represents height. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a 55,000 foot tall storm. At least. That's 55 decibels, maybe 60 decibels. That's a big boy right there. So, yeah, that's a serious storm. So for the folks in Temple, and this thing is probably going to be extended up to, and I'm just kind of giving a heads up to folks in Rosebud, Burlington, Ben Arnold, Rogers, Little River Academy. You guys are too close for comfort. Let's just put it that way. You're in a tornado warning. In fact, Little River Academy and Rogers, Rosebud, Burlington, Ben Arnold, you guys are just on the right-hand side, the southeast side of this storm, but it's headed your way. So you could be in a tornado warning here very, very soon. This one expires in 23 minutes. This is the brand new one. The one that was already up here expires in 8 minutes, and that's because it's moving. The storm system's moving at 40 miles an hour. It's going to be probably in the Ben Arnold area real soon. It's holding together. The purples and pinks you see, that's just very strong. They're dealing with easy hurricane force winds in there. Look at the lightning component. That is supercharged times 10. Holy moly, that is something else. Woo, that is nonstop lightning. Right there is classic nonstop lightning. Unreal. That is absolutely unreal right there. Even over in the Waco area. Are you serious? That's nonstop. Possibly cloud to ground, but some of it's cloud to cloud lightning. But you can rest assured some of that's making contact with the ground. There's too much of it there not to be. Axtel? You guys are in the middle of a very powerful system. It's more linear. It's not wide like we're dealing with down here in Temple. Temple's right in the middle of probably what feels like a land-based hurricane. No joke. That's a powerhouse storm. Strong one just went through Waco, Belmead, Lacey Lake View. These are more on the moderate to heavy side up here in the Waco area. Down here by Temple, Texas, that's on the extreme side. Extreme. These colors all have a story to tell. They all mean something. The light blues and greens represent moderate to light. Yellow to orange represent light to moderate. Orange to red represent moderate to heavy. Red to pink represent, heavy to, like very heavy. You get up into purple, you're at the top of the chart. You're at extreme. And that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing a collection of all of those colors, but it's being dominated by the purples and pink. Strength. That is strong. And we're probably, let's check the rotation. Oh my. There's debris. I'm not surprised. Okay, see the blue? That's a debris ball. Right there. That's debris. Hold up. Yeah. See right here? Let me show you something. That is debris. So there's debris in the air. The radar is detecting debris in the air. That would be south of Temple, Texas. Wow. But I'm not surprised by the looks of the storm. I mean, it looks just gnarly on the radar. I mean, that is one big, powerful storm. It's just mainly in that area right there. But we're going to be following look at the lightning. I can't get over the lightning. Man, that is just intense. But we're going to be following storms from Texas all the way up into Canada. And there's a line of watches and warnings between here and just across the border into Canada. Spans 2,200 miles. 2,200 miles. I mean, I've seen a lot of storms and storm activity, but this here's just the beginning. It spans all the way up across the border. And it's just getting started. Unbelievable here. Hopefully everybody in Temple has taken shelter. the if all you have, if you don't have a basement, and I know a lot of people don't, we don't have a basement here, but we have an interior room that we have designated just in case we were to ever get into a tornadic situation. Probably not out here in the desert, but you guys know me, and I'd rather be, prepared and not need it than not prepared and need it. So everybody at our house knows where the safe room's at. So we have one room that's designated as the safe room. We all know where to go. And it doesn't have any glass jars of spaghetti sauce or anything like that. It's an interior closet. And if anything falls, it's going to be clothing. So, and there's no windows. So, and it's a walk-in, so everybody should be good there. If you have something like that, your pantry's okay if it's your last resort, but got to keep in mind you're in a room where there's shelves of heavy, probably canned goods and spaghetti sauce and things like that. That's not the ideal room, but if it's all you can get to, it's better than nothing. Preferably some sort of a walk-in closet with no windows, so there's nothing really hard in there, like food items and stuff. So basements are the best. They've always been the best, always will be. I just can't get over the lighting. That is just, wow. Whoa. That is just wild. Got storms starting to brew up here in the Fort Worth, Texas area, moving towards Carrollton. Dallas is right on the edge for now. It could change. A strong storm just went through Fort Worth, but here's the thing. There were no warnings or watches. It just went through, probably moving at around 45 miles an hour, a pretty good clip, headed towards Louisville, Denton, Little Elm, Lake Dallas, Louisville, the Colony, Hebron. Strong storms moving your way that are capable of producing tornadoes. This area is under a tornado watch, and they've issued another tornado watch that expires in 5 hours and 17 minutes. This is a new one. This is the hot spot right now, but the hot spots could pop up anywhere along this line from, where are we at? My goodness, this is a long line. From Texas all the way up into here. Look at that. That is a massive area of severe weather. That is unbelievable. And guys, I did a video, I think it was earlier today. I talked about the stage is being set. I didn't mean it in a nefarious way. I meant this right here. This morning, in fact, I'll show you. Let me switch gears here real quick. We're coming back to this because that's the most important right now. This is what I was talking about when I meant the stage is being set. I was talking about the atmosphere. Okay, this is CAPE. CAPE is just a part of forecasting weather and conditions. The conditions are being set for severe weather. And I mentioned in this morning's video right here in this area, look at the CAPE. The scale only goes up to 500 joules. It's at 5,200. Off the charts, just like we're seeing right there. That's what I was talking about. The stage being set for this. And here's the player. Here's your cast members. Mr. Tornado 1 and Mr. Tornado 2 and high winds 3 and heavy rains 4. There's your cast members, and there's your stage. That's all. It wasn't anything nefarious. It's just a boundary line. Look at the boundary. The boundary's showing us right there. That boundary, along that boundary, there's going to be severe weather. Yeah, that's the CAPE, C-A-P-E. It's available energy, convection, and things like that. Look at the lifted index. There's another thing you can look at to foretell. And look, it's right on the money. The lifted index only goes up to 12 or negative 12, and look where it's at, negative 13. There's the stage. Stage being set for that. And usually whenever those numbers are like that, you see tornadoes. You see jumbo hail about the size of a softball. I heard here a while back there was hail the size of coconuts somewhere. Is that true? Anybody know that? Guys, I'm sorry I just want to say hi to everybody. Hello, Butterfly31, Mr. Prophet. Good to see you all here. Good to see everybody here. But whenever I'm following these storms, I like to stay hyper-focused on these things because, seriously, people's lives are at risk. When you see situations like this right here, That is a very serious storm. So if I can help one person, that's great. I'm a very humble guy. I don't have an ego or anything like that. I don't even like the word. But if I can't, I like to follow the weather. I always have. I have for years. Since my first hurricane, actually since my first tornado in 1995. But that was software, internet, all that. My first tornado in 2000, or hurricane in 2004. After that, it was on. I have been following and learning weather for 20 years. So it's something I've done for a long, long time. And it's something I enjoy doing. I'm very fascinated by the mechanics of the earth and the solar system and the sun and the weather. I like to understand things. I like to figure out how they work. That's all. That's all. People that become meteorologists, they become meteorologists because they want to understand the weather and understand how it works. And I'm the same way. I want to understand it, like right here. I think we're looking at let me stop this, back it up one frame. Yeah, that's a debris ball there, guys, south of Temple. And rotation. My goodness. Yeah, that's the one we've been watching here for the last 15 minutes. That is a powerful storm. Temple, Texas. South of Temple, Texas. I am pretty confident there's probably power outages. We're going to check on that here in a minute. So the tornado warning has indeed expired for Killeen, Morgan Point Resort, but it's still in effect for Temple, Little River Academy, Rogers, and that entire rural area around Temple. There's a debris ball right now south. Where are we at? I'll show you guys where we're at. For you new folks that are here, there's a giant debris ball, according to the radar, south of Temple, Texas. Right down in here. It's showing debris in the sky right out here, which looks like it's in a rural area, which is always good. There's no good time for a tornado or debris balls, but, if they're in a rural area, that makes it, I guess, a little better. There's still probably people out there, though. I can see the edge of the town right there. There's obviously roads there. The blue lines are roads, so there's folks traveling in and out of there, so... Interior room with no glass. I'm curious to see if they're going to extend this tornado warning. I'm almost certain they will, but I'm not the weather. I'm just the messenger. Okay. Tornado warning expires in 12 minutes. I can read a weather map, though. Trust you me. Yes, they did. See there? They just extended it. I thought they would, and it does include, like we thought, Ben Arnold, you're now in the middle of a tornado warning. Burlington, in the middle of a tornado warning. And the reason why I thought they might extend this is because this storm is maintaining its strength. It's not falling apart. So Ben Arnold, you're now in a tornado warning. Buckholtz, tornado warning. Cameron, tornado warning. Rockdale, this is all in Texas. Rockdale, tornado warning. Praisel, tornado warning. This is a larger warned area, and it's because of the storm that's currently in Temple, Texas right now. Now it's on the southeastern side of Temple, Texas. Little River Academy, probably experiencing part of that debris ball that developed between Temple and Little River Academy. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I didn't see any super high definition rotation there. But that doesn't mean there wasn't high winds. There were definitely high winds. I'm sure of that. Everything here tells a story, guys. Everything tells a story. The light greens are light, just exactly that. They're moderate. The blue, the sharp contrast and the colors and things like that, they tell a story. They're referring to wind and wind direction and things like that. There's a gnarly looking situation right there in Hewitt. Wow. Hewitt, Texas. Whoa, that is gnarly. My goodness. These are some strong storms, guys. If you are in this Waco, Texas area, Round Rock, College Station, man, you guys need to be watching the sky. No joke. Okay, this is a new tornado warning. I'll read it real quick. I'm not surprised that they issued this. I wait for them to issue the warnings. These come straight from the National Weather Service. I'm the messenger here. National Weather Service out of Fort Worth, Texas, 6:46 p.m. That would be Texas time. The National Weather Service in Fort Worth has issued a tornado warning for central Melam County in central Texas, east central Bell County in central Texas, south central Falls County in central Texas. At 7:15 p.m., that would again be, is that Texas time? Oh, until 7:15. I was going to say, wait a minute, man, it's not 7:15 in Texas. Okay. However, it's 6:45, and this is until 7:15. At 6:45 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Rogers, 12 miles northwest of Cameron, moving southeast at a staggering 50 miles per hour. Hazard tornado, ping pong ball size hail. It's basically a continuation of the storm that just went through Temple, and they are showing flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. And I do think that we saw a debris ball south of Temple, Texas, and they are advising the good guys and gals at the National Weather Service are advising to take cover now if you are in Ben Arnold, Burlington. If I was in Rosebud, I would be looking for a basement or an interior room with no glass. Even though you're not directly inside the tornado warning, that is just too close for comfort. Rogers, definitely be looking for an interior room. Guys, we are in Central Texas, Buchholz, Texas, Cameron, Texas. Hasn't got to Milano yet, but it's headed towards Milano. So we'll have to wait and see. But it could be extended again. It looks like it's holding together. Rockdale and Purcell, all in Central Texas. This is where the primary action is at right now, and it is very, very strong and appears to be getting stronger. Let's read some of these reports here out of Waco. Large hail. The size, 1-inch hail, southwestern Waco, Texas. Let me see the size of this hail in Temple. I'm just curious. 1.5-inch hail, northeast Temple, Texas. Most of the hail that falls from the sky goes unreported. 1.5-inch in Reso, Texas. R-E-S-O. Yeah, most of the hail goes unreported. Most of the wind reports go unreported. There's way more that go unreported than reported. Let's put it that way. So we got the purple again. It's in the country, though, out in the rural area. However, it's headed straight towards Burlington and Rosebud. That's what I say. Rosebud, you're not directly in the tornado warning square, but you've got a system coming right at you. So if you're in Rosebud, I'll extend it right here. That should be in there because that's headed right towards Rosebud, and that is the strongest part of the storm. And Rosebud's right there. So if you're in Rosebud, definitely Burlington, Ben Arnold, you guys need to find an interior room with no glass. Rosebud especially, see the storm, it's right there. I don't know how it can miss. I would be very surprised if it did, but Rosebud, they're under a severe thunderstorm warning anyway, so they know the weather's very strong right now. Severe thunderstorm warning, immediate broadcast requested. National Weather Service, Fort Worth, they are very busy today. Severe thunderstorm warning for the same counties as the tornado warning, right where we're at. Same time, well, actually until 7:45 p.m. Look at this, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, $half size hail. Oh, my goodness. And that's in the Rosebud, Pendleton, Temple, Little River Academy, this whole area here. It's kind of getting, there's so much information here. It's all on top of each other. The yellow represents severe thunderstorm warning. The red represents tornado warning. There's a new one been issued right there. They brought that one back, it looks like. I thought that one expired. It did expire, but the storm seems to be slowing down. I don't know. It's just a mess in here. There's so much going on. Wow, that is a lot of activity. I'm looking for rotation right now. Let's look for rotation over here on the right. I don't see the debris ball anymore, which is good. One time, a couple of weeks ago, you could actually see the rotation on the radar on here. You can actually see the tornado. You could actually see an eye wall. Look like a hurricane, land-based hurricane. I have never seen that. Usually you're trying to you're interpreting pixels. You're looking at pixels and turning pixels into understandable information. There was no mistaking it. There was a rotating tornado amongst the pixels. The pixels were a rotating tornado, and it was in Texas too. By where was it? Well, it was in Central Texas. Let me see. I want to say Rogers, or I think it was over here south of San Angelo. Eden, Wall, Robert Lee, right there is where it was. It was right in this area here, just south of Robert Lee. There was a literal, you could see it on the radar, very large tornado rotating. So that one was actually very easy to read. And this is still hanging tough. I mean, it's just not really weakening much. Multiple tornado warnings in Central Texas near Waco, Temple. Not to exclude Waco. Waco is in the middle of a severe thunderstorm warning right now at this very moment, and it looks like a flood warning for the next 2 hours and 34 minutes. Waco, Texas. I'll read the rest of the communities here in just a second. The National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning for McLennan County in Central Texas until 9:30 p.m. tonight, Texas time. At 6:17, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Flash flooding caused by severe thunderstorms, small creeks. Oh yeah, creeks, the drainage systems, they get overwhelmed because the rain is coming down at such an incredible rate. 2 to 3 inches per hour will obviously fill up creeks real fast. The creeks run into rivers, and the rivers start to rise. In communities, the storm drains sometimes can't handle the rainfall rates, and they become overwhelmed. The water starts to pile up in the streets, then cars get stalled, and you guys know the scenario. You've seen it, probably been in situations like that. I know I have. Not very often, but I have been in flash flooding situations. Absolutely, and it's just because the water management systems, whether they be man-made or natural, become overwhelmed and can't handle the excessive amounts of rain. And then areas that are already saturated with heavy amounts of rain from previous storms, the water has literally nowhere, it can't go in the ground, so the water goes up real quick. That's why it floods so much. People were making a big deal, and it was a big deal. It was flooding over in Dubai and places like that. Well, you got to keep in mind the ground is very, very hard over there. It's a desert. So when it rains over there just a little bit, it can create flash flooding because they're not prepared for rain over there typically, number one. The ground is so hard, it's not going to absorb any water. It's all going to stay on the surface. So a half inch of rain can create flash flooding over there. So I know they were dealing with that about a month ago, and it doesn't take much. It does not take much. I'm not saying that's the case here. But if rainfall rates start coming down at 2 to 3 inches per hour, Hurricane Harvey was a prime example of that. The hurricane stalled down there along the coast, and just hour after hour after hour, 2 inches of rain per hour for 24 hours. Well, you don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure out how much rain. 4 feet of rain, 48 inches, some cases more. So these storms are moving fast. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of flash flooding. There might be some, but I think the primary thing here is tornadoes, high winds, and very brief rounds of heavy rain. But the only good thing about these storms is they're moving pretty quickly. And there it is, like we thought there was a chance, because this storm system's holding together. It is a high octane system loaded with lightning. Look at that lightning ball. It's a ball of electricity moving through Central Texas, headed towards Burlington. And I say that, not literally. It's just got so much lightning in it. Probably what it looks like from space. Burlington, Ben Arnold, you guys, if you're in those areas, you need to be in an interior room with no glass. And Rosebud, I have to do it, guys. I'm sorry. That storm's going right at Rosebud. In fact, the strongest point of the storm is a quarter mile from Rosebud, right there. Look at that. I'm going to make sure there's no rotation there, because there very well could be. Oh, there is. Well, A little, not much. There's a little bit of rotation there, but not too much. But there's the strong part of that storm. You can clearly see. It's headed right towards Rosebud. There it goes. Oh, there's rotation there, huh? Meso strength 7278. 2.75 inch hail. That's what's headed towards Burlington right now. 2.75 inch hail, guys. Another hail report right here. That's 1.5, but this one's showing 2.75. That's what, tennis ball size? Yikes. Rogers feeling the storm right now. There's the bright pinks, dark pinks and purples, maroon. That is strength. That's what that's telling us. High octane storms. Rosebud, yeah, Rosebud is definitely in it. So we got to make this a little bit bigger. Right there. There, Rosebud. Big heads up, Rosebud. Burlington, big heads up. So it looks like the tornado warning for Temple has expired, which is good. They're now just dealing with probably light rain, if any rain at all, because the storm is blowing through there literally so fast. It's probably dragging all the moisture with it. So it may still be raining very mildly in Temple, but probably here in the next 25 to 30 minutes, you'll be able to see the evening sky in Temple. It's how fast this thing's moving. But Burlington, it's very dark in Burlington. It's very dark in Rosebud. In fact, Rosebud is seeing the strongest part of this storm. It's kind of veering a little bit towards Rosebud, which would be to the north. We are in central Texas near Waco. East Central, right on the edge of East Central Texas near Rosebud, Burlington, south and slightly east of Temple, Texas, who's probably dealing with power outages right now as I do this video. In fact, let's just look at the power outage situation. Hold on. We're going to come back and check the radar. Let's look at the power outages. Okay, right now it's showing 55,000 in Texas. I'm going to update it. Here we go. Yeah, that changed. Went from 55,000 to 113,000 customers in Texas currently without power. And we know why, because we're watching the very strong storms roll through. Let's check this one out. Looking for tornadoes. That's hail. Tornadoes in this area. And that's right where Ventusky was telling us the action would be. Hasn't been updated in a little bit. There could be more tornadoes out there. They just have not updated yet. Let's take a look at the infrared, see what it looks like. And we're looking for blacks and dark gray, charcoal color. Oh yeah, seeing it in southwestern Arkansas. Could be a new hot spot. Let's take a look-see. Yep, they're under severe thunderstorm warnings. Not anything like what's going on over here in Texas, but southwestern Arkansas could see some action here soon. Right now, the hot spots are Burlington, Rosebud. There's a very strong storm headed your way. Ben Arnold, Rogers, right in the middle of a natural car wash. Rain going sideways, possibly a very large hail. That's a tall storm. That's somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 50 decibels, 50,000 feet. I'm not going to read that. Yeah, sure enough, 60,000 footer. Look, 61,000 foot. Are you serious? Holy cow. Yeah, right there. That's a tall one. Let's check this one out over here. Good Lord. Wow. Another big one. Right in here. I think there would be at the minimum 2-inch hail there. Minimum 2-inch hail. Because that storm right there's got incredible loft. So it has the ability to lift the moisture higher up into the atmosphere, so it can create bigger hail. That gives it the ability to create bigger hail. That's how it forms. It's got that strong updraft, and the higher up it can take it, the colder it gets, the bigger it gets, and the longer it stays aloft. So then gravity takes over once it gets so big and comes down at 100 miles an hour towards the ground. So you definitely don't want to be out in that type of stuff. The storm in actually they did. Wow, it just went right to well, Rosebud's actually in it. Let's look for rotation in Rosebud, Texas. We're looking for rotation and debris balls here. Debris, we are looking for flying debris. Seen a little bit, not much. A very, very little, maybe by Ben Arnold, but not too much. Nothing like what we saw earlier. So that's good. That's good. Guys, I want to check on something real quick. We're going to Canada. You ready for this? Let's do it. I think I can get on radar up here. If not, we're going to try. Let's do it. Got friends up here in Canada. Oh, good Lord. We got it. Here we go. How about that? There's your severe thunderstorm with the lightning component up here in Canada. All right. Is that Cadillac? I just saw Cadillac, Canada. Or I thought the Cadillac was in. Did I see that wrong? I thought Cadillac was in Michigan. Yeah, sure enough. Learn something new every day, man. There is a Cadillac, Canada. Was that what, Quebec? I guess so. Manitoba? No, Manitoba. A little bit. I don't know. It's Cadillac. I thought the only Cadillac was in Michigan. Again, learn something new every day. Looking at severe thunderstorms in Canada, our friends north of the border. Remember, severe thunderstorms can produce tornadoes. Yes, they can. Severe thunderstorm warnings are issued when imminent or occurring thunderstorms are likely to produce or are producing one or more of the following: large hail, damaging winds, torrential rainfall. And this isn't coming from the National Weather Service. It's coming from the Weather Service up in Canada. So that would be the EDT, the Environment Canada Meteorologist. So we're getting weather reports in 2 countries, multiple states. Look at all the different storm warnings from way up here in Canada all the way down through New York. Pockets of warnings, high winds. What are these wind reports here in New York? Wind damage. Tree down over a road reported in Social, Montour Falls, New York. Series of high winds going through, looks like Pennsylvania, Harrison, Pennsylvania. 5 trees down in Harrison, Pennsylvania. A whole slew of wind reports through southern Indiana. 55-mile-an-hour wind, estimated wind gusting at 55. More wind reports near the Kentucky-Tennessee border. Road flooded, closed in some areas. And then back down here to Texarkana. And look at all the severe thunderstorm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looped by a watch. Here we go. Let's check it out and see what's shaking here. Oh, yeah. Definitely getting active here. Well, this is in the southwestern Arkansas, Texarkana, which would be northeastern Texas, and northwestern Louisiana. Right on the tri-state where the 3 states meet. Very, very active right now. No tornado warnings, which is good, but definitely very heavy rain. High winds. There's probably wind reports here. 3/4 inch hail. 1 inch hail. Let's see what this one shows. 1 inch hail. So pretty consistently 1 inch, 3/4 inch. There's another 1 inch report, hail, 1/2 inch hail. So nothing catastrophic over here, just a strong spring thunderstorm, several moving through that area. That's under a severe thunderstorm watch for the next 3 hours and 51 minutes, and that would be in the tri-state area where Arkansas, actually to include Oklahoma, but there's not much going on up here in Oklahoma. It's pretty quiet right now, but where Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas meet, as you can see, the radar is super active right now with a series of thunderstorms moving to the northeast at, what's the clip? How fast are they moving? They don't look to be moving super fast. Let's just see. National Weather Service out of Shreveport, May 22nd. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Yeah, this one's not moving quite as fast as the ones in Texas. This particular one's moving at 25 miles an hour to the east-northeast, so moving a little bit slower, and that means they have a little more time to gain some momentum, gain some strength, and things like that. So they're just now getting organized, moving a little bit slower than this situation down here. This one was moving at 50 miles an hour, pretty good clip. Let's just refresh this and get a new look. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. And I tell you what, that's still a potent system. It really is. It's primarily over Rosebud right now. Looks like Rosebud saw the strongest part of that storm system. Let's see, is it still moving at 50? Let's look. This tornado warning expires in 4 minutes. Moving at, let's see, $half size hail, possible tornado according to radar. Yeah, see, this one's moving at 50 miles an hour, where the storm up in Arkansas is moving at 25. Still just overwhelmed with lightning. You guys probably on the backside of this storm where it's safe. And see, look how Temple's probably looking at daylight, right, or looking at the sky right now. Check it out. See? Happened actually much quicker. So Temple can probably see the stars in the sky right now. And just a few minutes ago, they were inside a natural car wash, house wash. So moving pretty quick. And boy, that's a highly, highly photogenic storm. If you're safely on the backside of it, you can probably see it moving away. It looks like there's a tornado signature right there. Look at that. TBS, a tornadic vortex signature. Low level velocity, 65 knots, maximum 77. Not a real big one, but it's still there. That would be in a rural area between Marlin, Coss, and Reagan, right in that area. You can see it. See it showing any rotation there? No. No, there's no rotation there, so maybe it's something that happened earlier, but good Lord. That's not a very big storm, but I'm here to tell you, that thing is strong. Still holding together. It's starting to weaken some, and sometimes when this happens, they recycle, you know, the energy. It'll lose its height. It'll drop and then come back up over here and over here, you know, in different places. In fact, let's measure the top now. I don't think it's probably much above 50, but we'll look and see. 57. So that's still a respectable system. 49. Let's look over here by Burlington. 62. 61. That's still very respectable. That's very strong. Look at that lightning. Look at that lightning. You got to be kidding me. Where's that all coming from? Maybe the recent solar activity? I know the Earth has been shedding that energy for a while. Wow. Temple, you got clear skies now. Just a minute ago, 30 minutes ago, you were in a tornado warning, and now the skies are clear. I don't know if there's any power outages in Temple. Let's look and see. Temple is south and actually north and east Austin. Okay, let's just look and see. I'm just curious. I want to see if there's power outages in Temple. I'm probably pretty sure. Yeah, there's got to be. You can see the counties that are showing power outages here in Texas right now. Coryell County, 7,800 without power. Bell County, how many? 56,780 without power in Bell County. And that is consistent with what we're seeing right here. So, yes, a lot of these folks are in the dark, and they're still trying to get the power back on in Houston. My goodness, some places in Houston have been without power for 5 days, Chad. 5 days. maybe longer. In fact, I had a, where is it? What, do I still have it? Let me look and see. I do, right here. This was a screen grab I took earlier today, and they're still trying. That's a job to put the big guy wire towers back up. There were at least 10 down in the Houston area. That's a very large job, so it could be a while yet. But this was earlier today, 74,000 without power, primarily at the time I took this screen grab in the Houston, southeastern Texas area. 39,000 customers up in Wisconsin where they experienced a tornado yesterday without power. 15,000 customers earlier today without power in Illinois. Once again, from the inclement weather that just keeps on coming. Now we're looking at, for the time being, no tornado warnings in the Texas area. That's been a hot spot since we got on here. There's no tornado warnings for 2,000 miles all the way up into Canada, where they're dealing with severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. There's a severe thunderstorm warning right now in Canada. Where are we at here? This is Environment Canada meteorologists. Strong storms, hail, and torrential rainfall possible. Mont Laurier, Montreal, Ottawa. You guys know what time it is. It's raining up there, raining very heavy. Got some beautiful photos of the aurora from up in Canada. Beautiful ones from Iowa, Indiana, Roscoe, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. Don't recall getting any out of North Dakota, but I did get some out of Idaho, Washington, Northern California. We saw them and got a photo down here in the Phoenix area. I had to put my camera on a long exposure, but I did pull in the red auroras, absolutely. And you could see the aurora very, very vaguely. You had to stare at a certain point of sky because, remember, they come in as clouds. You know, they're not like just like you see right here. You know, it's denser right here, and then behind it, there's very little density. So the auroras are the same way. It could be dense right here, less dense behind it. Well, if you stared at an area long enough where you knew it was coming from, the east, northeast, every once in a while you'd see a wave of red come through. And we saw the waves of red come through, and that's when I turned the camera on, a 30-second exposure, and I pulled in the red auroras. Absolutely. We saw them out here in the southeast Phoenix area. Yes, we did. So right now, guys, there's a whole plethora of things going on from Central Texas all the way up into Canada. 2,200 miles of, right now, for the time being, severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. So no tornado warnings at the time. There are tornado watches in Central Texas up to East Central Texas, which includes Dallas, Fort Worth, Cedar Hill. Where else are we looking at? Duncanville, Irving, Arlington, Grand Prairie. You guys are under a tornado watch for the next, let's look and see, 41 minutes. So in 41 minutes, should clear out. This tornado watch here that was issued while we were doing the live stream, this one doesn't expire for another 4 hours and 41 minutes. So if you guys are in the College Station area, Temple still in the tornado watch area, but it's clear skies right now in Temple. Centerville, Marquez. Does that include Austin or no? Where's Austin at? There's a lot going on here. It's difficult to even see the map. No, well, see, San Antonio, Houston, College Station. No, Austin is south. So Austin is down here. So Austin is in the clear with regard to tornado watches. But this area right here in East Central Texas, Crockett, Lovelady, that's where we saw another tornado on the radar near Lovelady the other day. You guys are under a tornado watch for the next 4 hours. Wowza. Let me say hi to everybody over here. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I really and truly do. What happened to the chat? Looks like it's stuck. What's going on, Chad? Shiner. Hey, Shiner. How you doing? Hi, Barney. What's going on, guys? Hi, Tracy, Andrea. What's going on, guys? I'm going to be hopping off here in a minute because right now there's no tornado warnings. When there's warnings on here, I like to hop on and do my part if I can help. I'm very humbled to do so. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with me. And if you're in the Central Texas area, just know that you're not completely. And also up here in the south, western Arkansas, far northeastern Texas, and northwestern Louisiana, you guys could see some action for the next. This is a severe thunderstorm watch for the next 3 hours and 39 minutes, and multiple areas of severe thunderstorm warnings. But the last time I looked, nothing major. Maybe half inch to inch hail. Moving at 25 miles an hour, not too much going on. Hello, Chad. Probably going to be worse in 2025. You're right. The sun's solar intensity, it does that every 11 years. And if we look at history, we can know the future, right? That's how I learned. If you want to know what's going to happen in the future, just take a look at what happened in the past. You're welcome, Mandy. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Tracy. Thank all you guys for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. I really and truly do. If I see any more tornado warnings on here later on this evening, I'll keep a close eye on it. I'm sure there'll be some pop on and off from time to time. But just know if you're in the Central Texas area, just be on the lookout for tornadoes and severe weather. Let's refresh this and see if there's any new power outages. There are, yes, now 131,000 customers in Texas without electricity. That's due to the ongoing situation, not counting what has occurred down in the Houston area, and they've got most of the power back on with the exception of 40,000 customers in Harris. That was one of the areas that was hit the hardest with the big guy wire towers that were blown over, but they're getting the power back on. I mean, that's admirable. There was, I think, 800,000, maybe 1 million at one time, customers without power. So that's a big job. That's a big job. So they've been working nonstop around the clock to get the power restored. And now there's more power going out up here in the Central Texas area as they're getting power restored in southeastern Texas. They're probably, you know how it is. Wow, that's a lot to deal with. So hang in there, guys. Hang in there and keep your eyes to the skies. Could see more tornadic activity later on this evening. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you guys for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.